Okay, so the history of Flow 3, I'd like to start with that before I go into detail. Many people ask the valid question, why do we need something like Flow 3? Why do we need another PHP framework? And because there are so many out there, right at this time they are becoming more and more popular. And you probably know Symfony from France. It must be very popular here as well. And there are others, of course, like Zen Framework, and they are becoming quite popular. So when we decided I think 3 or 4 years ago, that we need a new major version of Typo 3 which comes with a new architecture, with a clean code base, then we didn't know that we would rewrite the whole thing. And we were very optimistic that we could just take Typo 3 as it was and then do some major refactoring. But as soon as we started with that, we realized that proper refactoring is not possible, because what we didn't have was unit tests. And as Carsten will tell you this afternoon, unit tests are very, very important if you want to do some refactoring, because if you cannot test what the software does and you change the internals of the software, you get very unexpected results. You cannot actually prove that it's still doing the same. And this would, of course, be very important if you want to refactor something like Typo 3, which is used very, very often, and it would break any existing Typo 3 installation. So we decided to write everything from scratch, and if you stand there with an empty canvas like the painter and say, what's going to be my first paint stroke if I create Typo 3? That's of course a very difficult decision, because you have lots of projects you did in the past and you know that you're going to use this and that, but what you're missing then is the absolute basics. Like something like how do I create an object, or how do I find files, and how do I do caching, and lots of infrastructure is actually missing. So we started step by step creating this infrastructure. And because we wanted to do that in a certain way, we didn't find any existing framework which would suit our needs. So this is why we started with our own framework, and at some point we thought, man, that's so useful, not only for Typo 3, we should make that available for everybody who wants to create a PHP application. And this is actually what I think what's happening currently. Many people are using Typo 3 as a content management system, but there are also lots of people and lots of agencies who actually need it as an application framework. They probably don't use the CMS part at all, because clients nowadays, they want to have web-based applications which somehow integrate into their website, and this is what you need a proper application framework for. So in total, Flow 3 will become the foundation of Typo 3.5, and the cool thing about that is that it's on the one hand the foundation for Typo 3, but on the other hand the foundation of any application you could write in PHP, so you can reuse your code you write for standalone applications. You can reuse that in your extensions, for example, and within your Typo 3 installation.